As promised in the other video, I will now tell something about the transceiver, the video transceiver. This is the complete station for the 6 centimeter band, containing a receiver and a transmitter, the monitor, the camera, and of course the antenna. And therefore that's too much for one single video. So there will be more episodes where I will explain everything what is here. As you can see, I have a lot of information on it, because when you are portable you can be mixed up. What is this connector for? And especially when you are not doing this every day, you can this can be very helpful. As you can see, this transceiver has 20 megahertz steps. That's because of the modules that are in it. And this is also the on-off switch. So when I switch it on, the green LED lights up and the monitor gives noise. And we hear also sound coming from the headphone. And when I do another step, it is 20 megahertz above. So in fact, the most of the time we used 5780, so that's channel 3 in here. And this is in the direction of the receiver, and when I do this, it is in the direction of the transmitter. And then of course the LED goes to red. Normally this monitor has no noise. It has a blue screen, but I will explain the circuit that's behind later. So let's this episode focus on the transmitter and receiver that's in this housing. It looks very complicated, but it isn't, because they are all ready modules, except one. And I will explain module by module. And this was not the first circuit. The first circuit was in a very tiny house. And because modules came, the housing was too small, and therefore I have this made. In fact, this is the transmitter module, and at the end of this video I will tell more about possibilities what to buy now these days. This is the receiving module, and this is the relay. And the relay switch between the receiver and the transmitter to the antenna. And the antenna is this one, but that will come later. So in fact it is very easy, and there's a large switch with several decks to switch the channels and to switch on and off. The transmitter has of course a video and audio input, and those coaxes are going to here. But because the microphone input is not sensitive enough to add directly a microphone, I added a small preamplifier, a microphone amplifier, in this copper housing, and it can be anything. The receiver has audio and video output, and that's going to here via these little coax cables. So in fact that is not too complicated to have modular first setup. And one of the most important things, I think, is to find another person that is willing to build with you. Because if you have such a station by yourself, it doesn't help. You need some company that you can do some tests with. And that will also be an episode about the results of those tests. What you see also here is an amplifier. The first setup was only the transmitter, receiver and relay, but I wanted to have more output. This transmitter has only 70 milliwatt output, and this amplifier makes 1.5 watt of it. So that's the only thing, but if you really need it, is the question. I doubt it. We have a voltage regulator here because they operate on 5 volt. And now these days I would maybe do a buck converter. And what we have also here, it has nothing to do with this transmitter. It is a video source. When you don't have a camera or so, you can make a video source out of an Arduino, as explained here. And you can switch it on and off. I made a switch here, so you can choose between the external video source or the internal video source. This is this circuit. So in fact, it looks very complicated, but it is rather straightforward. Different than we started, there are now many audio-video receivers and transmitters available on the market. Just Google on FPV 5.8 GHz transmitter or receiver, and you see a lot of items offered. For example, this audio-video receiver. It has 48 channels, and that's important because you have many frequencies in that band. And if the other stations don't have your frequency, because they have only 6 channels or other channels, then it is better to have many channels than the wrong channels. So the frequencies need to be compatible. You have also transmitter and receiver offers. Another issue is the coaxial relay. In the past they were available as surplus, but now it is more difficult, and you see them on eBay or other sources rather expensive. 35 euro is rather cheap for such relay. So you can forget maybe the coaxial relay if you use 2 antennas. A short demonstration of the station in action. The sound is not recorded. The station where this image was received is 15 kilometers away and has an omnidirectional antenna. Next time more about the 6 cm ATV transceiver, so don't forget to subscribe and follow the playlist. See you!